to RLCS. The loser is in the rival series, so not too much of a loss in that sense, but everyone wants to be in RLCS. So let's get it going with this next best of 5 with the commentary. Ray Punk and Final Carpet. Take it away, guys.
Thanks so much, Axel Toss. Gibbs' pun there, I wish I knew if it was good or not. I wasn't paying attention.
I wasn't either.
Yeah, I didn't really listen to him. Wolves on the Moon is like one of my favorite gamer tags I've ever heard.
That's the longest name I've ever seen here.
Yeah, but still,
Wolves on the Moon.
I'm just like picturing, like, what are they doing up there? Can they breathe?
I want to know first the story. Second of all, there's usually a character limit on like most things. Does he have that account name anywhere else? Because Wolves on the Moon sounds like it's 3 characters too much for most
Someone's
things.
like, all right, I'll follow you on Twitter. What's your Twitter handle? @WolvesOnTheMoon. Never mind.
Are there spaces? No,
just too long to type. Don't want to try and figure that out. But Soul Gaming, Dadu is probably the most recognizable name on this roster. We've seen Dadu here before. He's an old member of Precision Z, was there a lot. So, yeah, we would always joke about Dadu going up against Marky Duda and how confusing that was because you had Dadu versus Duda. But Method, definitely a team that we are expecting to win here. Definitely the favorites here. Yeah. Being a team that has made it into league play before and a team that has had a lot of success over the summer. So Mets, Magnus, and a lot. We'll see how they compete here up against Soul Gaming. Still a best of 5. Winner gets into the RLCS. Loser gets into the RLRS.
Method did get upset a bit earlier today, though. Excel took it to him. And I think that, I mean, the desk was pretty unanimous. Method's going to have this. They've shown it before. But I know there's kind of been some controversy on their consistency. Usually they're not able to bring it when they really, truly need it. So we'll see if they're going to have the fire truly to bring it out.
We don't get Wolves on the Moon. They're playing with their sub Ghostfire. So I wonder if Wolves on the Moon was playing throughout that long streak that Axel Toss was talking about.
And I was taking a nap.
And now he's just too tired. They put the sub in here. But I would hope they'd be playing with their best roster here.
If only their sub was Wolves off the Moon.
Wolves off the Moon. Wolves on the Mars. It was Wolves on the Moon and company. Well, I guess not Wolves on the Moon. God, they get me all mixed up. Soul Gaming started on the offense, but now Method with an opportunity to score. Still playing with a lot. Mets and Mog, a dynamic duo. Skies now downfield. A lot playing the midfield defense. It's demoed in enemy territory, which means he spawns right behind on that back line. They'll play that one away. Magnus, a shot towards the net. Skies will clear that one away, but Method gonna try, see if they can keep this offense going. A few clears come through, but no follow-up means that Magnus can just move up for free, keep the pressure on.
Method already showing a heavy amount of patience on defense. They clear it away confidently, knowing like, hey, we're just gonna give them a bit of possession, but when they do finally have the boost, they will follow behind that ball to try and start to gain a little bit of momentum and to gain a little bit of coverage on the field.
Ghostfire to pick this one up and move it out. That's an RS to move it back. Now in the blue corner, a lot. Trying to shoot through multiple defenders. Magnus gets it on the back wall, and that was through the last player, but Metzenaris was not the fastest to get and respond to that, and they'll be able to clear it away. And a whiff there from Mets. Ghost is like, okay, cool, I'll move in and take this for free, and we'll move that one into the orange. A lot on the wall. Plays that down, drops it on top of Mets, who just goes for the dribble over the top of Dadu. Skies is there, but can Magnus shoot this?
That was a nice 2-man attack. Dadu forcing that first touch to try and flick it over him, knowing he'd probably lose that, but he had a defender in net to follow it up and put it out of danger.
Skies now to the side. Metzenaris pass 2. There's an opportunity. Magnus shoots and scores dead center of the net, and that's the first blood on the board.
Finally catching a defender on the ground, and the fireworks will display. Mets again. We've seen this a few times today. Just right off the corner. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. It keeps it off that back wall. And the idea is that it puts it closer to your teammates than it does to your opponents, especially if they're sitting on that goal line. If you keep it on the back wall, it's always going to be easier for them to get to. But once you take it away from the goal and push it towards that box or that midfield, you're going to have an easier time of reaching it as opposed to your opponents.
Lot takes a boomer from the midfield, but it gets blocked. And the pressure's been on ever since. Ghostfire getting chased by Magnus. Metzenaris picks it up in the midfield, but he's a bit low on boost. He'll back into the midfield and let Skies take a shot, knowing Magnus will be able to clear that one. Now a lot onto the backboard. Ghostfire does not make contact, but Skies will be there. For sure Metzenaris thought Ghostfire would be able to get a touch. Now a lot. And Metz on the back in the blue. Magnus will look to play this one back down.
I think a lot just saved that.
He got it out of the way. Oh no! Well, he definitely scored that.
Absolute betrayal.
Oh,
pretty sure
goodness.
Alat just saved a goal from going in for his opponents and then decided to freak out a little bit. Also, he heard Dadu coming. I think it was a mixture of a bunch of things. Dadu was coming, so we wanted to jump. He also wanted to backflip so we could land quicker, but that fell right on top of his car.
I feel like that to me starts to go into the top 5 own goals of RLCS. A lot, just off the post. Nearly redeemed himself there. But that backflip own goal, that was something else.
Well timed.
Oh yeah. I don't think I could pull that out off on purpose. A lot now. To carry this one forward in the 1 position. Skies gets it through. He'll carry this one, looks to drop it for Dadu. Puts it out a bit farther than Dadu is anticipating, and Ghost will put it into the corner. They'll keep the offense going for a bit, but Magnus, quicker read, gets it over the top. And able to put it back into the blue. Back and forth right now in game number 1. 125 left to go, tied up at 1 apiece. Magnus to the corner. It's a demolition, a lot, a shot towards net. Ghost fire back down the field, and Magnus to put it high. The dude shooting downfield. A lot moves into the corner. Mets and Mog now back in net. A good touch by Magnus. 2 players are up for that. Now a 1v2 possibility. A lot gets demolished in the midfield, which immediately switches the table. But look at the shot. Metzenaris puts it there, and then just the smallest touch, technically an own goal. But oh my goodness, you can't really hurt Dadu for just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Look at the pinch on that, the speed.
I think because it was such a fast-paced shot, he didn't really have time to register, is this on target or not? I'm going to get behind this ball real quick. But he didn't. He didn't get behind it at all.
He was trying. And that gives the lead over to Method with 48 seconds remaining. In what has been a close game 1. Magnus onto the backboard. Dadu is up and will play it away from a lot. Now Metzenaris to move it downfield. Takes a shot to the net off of his own setup. Demolition on Dadu. Leaves it for Magnus. Dadu spawns underneath the ball. He's got 2 defenders in net and no pressure. With 30 seconds remaining, Method playing smart, realizing all they gotta do is burn time off the clock, play defensively, and oh my goodness, they'll get a bit of an own goal here as well. This has been just a very interesting game.
Is that 3 out of 4 goals this game have been own goals?
I think so.
A lot put up the pressure. Was that just in? I think it was just in.
It really looked like one of the Soul Gaming players touched it, but
I even tried to get an angle on that on my camera, but I still couldn't find it in time.
well done to Alot. He puts in another goal. And now up by 2 with 15 seconds. Looks like Method's got this one figured out. And we'll see how things change up in game 2.
Best of 5. Qualify into the Rocket League Championship Series for the winners of this series.
Loser dropping to the Rival Series through Season 4. I'm gonna be honest, there hasn't been really much that Soul Gaming's done this game that's made me feel like, this is an impressive team we need to be watching out for right now. They kept, Method close there, but then again, the only goal they really scored, a complete own goal from Alot. Dadu was right there and could have possibly finished it off himself, but
15 shots to 3, by the way.
Yeah, that tells the story we're trying to tell right now.
I mean, and if you just noticed, whenever Method was taking shots, right, they took a lot of sidewall shots, because you get essentially 2 values out of that. Either it's on target, and they have to do something about it, and generally the angles that they're coming from for that don't always prepare them for a nice hard clear. They're usually going to be facing you, getting ready to push it back into the corner. So they're not going to have a lot of momentum to push it out towards the mid for a hard clear. Or it misses, and they have to go on the backboard, which you're kind of forcing a player to go up and out. Or they miss that, and it becomes a center. So it kind of has like a triple value depending on how it goes. And Method's taking a lot of really solid, almost really good shots from the sidewall. And you saw it several times, and it usually puts Soul Gaming in a weird situation where they didn't really know who to go for it, and then eventually Method was able to get an own goal, force them to own goal. That was an interesting series of events.
Yeah, I'm interested to watch how this series evolves and see if Soul Gaming can actually create some really meaningful offense, as they were forced to make 8 saves that game. So much defense they had to play on those 15 shots that we saw Method putting up here. So game 2, can they change it up? Can things become different for Soul Gaming, or are we set to see another 3-0 today? We've had only 1 series not go the first, just go in 3 games. So we'll see if Soul Gaming can give us...
I never realized how accustomed I got to the Octane and Dominus engine sound until I heard people using new ones.
Yeah.
And they're so jarring to me, it's all I hear. And it's not a bad thing. I'm just like, oh, that sounds so different.
It's really interesting to just kind of just go through them in a vacuum. Some of them sound really hilarious, but some of them are really awesome too. Magnus moves this one down the field. Sky's got demoed, so then temporary power play here. A lot could possibly drop this in really softly, and a good block from Dadu, but here comes Metz to finish it off. Oh, it goes on the crossbar and bounces in. Did this touch somebody else? How did this possibly bounce?
I think it was him. So I actually was probably going to tell a lot, not tell a lot.
Oh, yeah, he touched it again.
He still had his second flip. It hadn't reset yet. So that first touch from a lot, in most circumstances, he probably should have put that off the backboard. The defender was never going to get to that, but kind of had to react. And then it would have been an easier shot for Metzenaris to actually make. He did make a nice drop, but thankfully for them, Dadu wasn't able to get a fantastic touch off of it. But in most situations, he'd probably want to go for the backboard.
Magnus in the midfield here. Sky's down, and a lot makes the save. First good attempted offense we've really seen from Soul Gaming. That shot was on point. Metzenaris to try and wrap this one around. It's loose in the corner, and Skies will bounce it back out to middle. Magnus airborne, looking for a lot deep in enemy territory. Ghostfire will carry that one away. 2 players up, 3 players now in the corner. The duel will fall out to the side. End up in midfield. Ghostfire now in the middle, getting bumped, but sets it up for Dadu, who gets it over the top, puts it in. Tie game, first earned goal we've seen from Soul Gaming.
Right, I see Method was just a bit too cocky getting back on defense. Metz was waiting on that corner boost, but the moment he noticed he had no more help, and Dadu there just waiting for that final moment, for that final touch, just looking at him. Come here, bro. Come here. I know you want to contest this.
Yeah.
Knowing that he had full control to put it over him, and now tied game, 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
Soul Gaming now looking to see if they can tie up the series. Dropping game 1, Metzenaris in the midfield, down the pitch, and Magnus with a redirect towards the box. A lot was looking for the quick third touch before the bounce, but will come up empty-handed. Metzenaris now, the flick up high, trying to set it for a lot. Skies interrupts. Now Magnus with a carry. A lot again, either drop on top of the goalie, leave it for Magnus. A good play, and 3 defenders made moves on it, but still nothing to show for it. Finally, Metz's shot. This will bounce in, barely making it inside. So close to bouncing out, and that's the lead back for Method.
And you can see Soul Gaming starting to spread out, wanting boosts. Dadu maybe trying to find a couple pads up in the middle, and Metzenaris saw the opportunity. Once he saw 2 in front of him and 1 next to him, he's like, I think this is open. Get this over to me. Gets a nice redirect perfectly to the post, and now they're 1 goal up.
Metzenaris hanging back and net off of kickoff. They'll be able to get the block. Kickoff did not go in their favor. Now a lot down the field. Can he double tap this one? So close. Skies with an excellent defense. Be able to block it away. Dadu and Ghostfire both up. A completely open net. See a lot move over to the side. Metzenaris downfield. Now a lot and Magnus both up. The shot towards the net is wide. A lot controls this one in the 1v1. Over the top. Does it drop in? No. Skies plays it away. Metzenaris will look to keep the pressure on, but Skies gets it past him, and now the ball out at midfield. Magnus into the corner. Ghostfire carries this down. Dadu able to pick it up off of the fakes from Ghostfire, but loses it to Metz, who finds a lot. The shot towards net on target, cleared by Skies. The savior medal for the sub player as we cross halftime. Still the 1 goal lead here for Method.
And just look at Method trying to stifle everything in the midfield. A lot, not even trying to let that go to net.
Skies dropping this off the ceiling, and the defense caught off guard. Tie game.
This is kind of another own goal.
Oh, for some reason, when it said Skies, I was like, oh, Skies was the guy on the ceiling pinching there, but no, it was a lot. 2 in a series.
Well, it's technically like the 3rd or 4th
yeah, but
one.
It's 2 for a lot.
Fair enough.
Poor guy.
He just wants to get as many goals as possible.
He just wants an even series. He has created a tie game with both of his own goals. This poor guy. 2:07 left to go.
But you can see them trying to cut it off as quickly as possible at that midfield. Yeah. You can see that clearly sometimes it backfires. All it takes is a tiny bit of timing off, and you put that ball in the complete wrong direction, and sometimes in the complete wrong net.
Yeah, well, a lot's just choosing to shoot straight out when Metz was looking for the goalie in net. Instead of just taking his time, both of the other defenders very far out of position. Metzenaris, what a play off the wall, straight over 2 players. With that sort of accuracy, they're going to take the lead back.
I mean, this is a clean read and prediction. He immediately just turns around to beat both Ghostfire and Dadu. And you can see that neither of them really knew where to be. Why is Dadu right behind Ghostfire? Or why is Ghostfire right in front of Dadu? Yeah. One of them should have been in net, although I don't know if they would have had the boost to save that anyways, which is probably why they were both trying to push out.
And with how close they were to Metzenaris, they had, split seconds to read that, to understand what was about to happen. Magnus in net as Metzenaris moves out. 1:30 left on the clock, and the 1 goal lead. Now again, a 1v2. And Metzenaris played this correctly, goes for the fake, and Ghostfire's touch does just go straight up. He had to do in the corner here. Magnus will wrap this one around a lot. Airborne pitches it back towards Magnus. He wanted to drop it underneath, been unable to get there. Feels like a lot has been pretty inaccurate all day, and has been a problem because they're putting him in the shooter role significantly more than Magnus or Metzenaris. I think that's part of why they dropped their series earlier to excel, and why this series is so close here against Seoul Gaming.
With a minute left, there's 14 shots for Method.
Oh my
3 shots for Seoul Gaming. They have been in complete offensive control.
A double demo there.
Probably 15 if you count the own goal.
This is true. A lot. There's another shot for a lot now. 15. The same line we saw last game. 15-3. Magnus to move it down. Ghostfire puts it back in the middle. Skies is there uncontested. Metzenaris to move it in the middle. Can he finish this off? Another shot towards the net, wide once more. Ghostfire into the corner, and a lot passes to Magnus. He'll take the shot, close post, but Dadu gets the save and sends it away. When they're shooting accurately, the Rocket League's pretty good, but there's been a bit of an accuracy on both sides that's slowing the pace of the game down.
And I will say, they're not really doing any risky plays on either side of the pitch right now. Method is doing the thing we saw earlier today. They're just going to keep taking shots until they find an opening.
Skies the shot downfield. Metzenaris is there and sends it away. They had a bit of a open net situation. Can they keep this in the air? No, Metzenaris just slams it to the ground. Says that's the end of this one, please. We're gonna move into game 3 here. Method takes game 1 and 2. One more win and they qualify for the Rocket League Championship Series.
16 shots to 5.
My goodness.
That's actually insane. And Seoul Gaming they got those last 2 in the last 45 seconds. But that just kind of proved right there that Method's just they're just trying to break that defense. Yeah, they're trying to slowly destroy them and dismantle them, take their boost, keep taking shots until they just find any angle. They're not really, no one's really passing, no one's really doing anything crazy creative. It's like, well, we know how to batter you down until you don't want to do anything, or until you can't. Yeah. And then we're going to score. Who knows what net, but we're still going to score.
Who knows what net? A lot's like, they're both good, right? They're like, no, you have to shoot the blue one.
Stop, yes.
You have to shoot the blue one, bud. You're a veteran. You should know this. 9 saves from the side of Seoul Gaming. They had 8 in game 1, 9 now in game 2. Having to play so much defense, just it feels like they're getting pressed so hard, but then the mistakes on the side of Method's keeping the game really interesting here and keeping it really close. So Method, they're not playing with the level of polish that we have seen over the summer. And then I hope that this is just qualifier jitters. Everybody talks about, the pros talk about all the time, about this is the most difficult week of RLCS.
I mean, this is where I expect to see this. I mean, this is their final opportunity. They're in the lowers. This is their final chance to make it into the RLCS. You don't want to do crazy stuff. Yeah. You want to just play the game you know works well. You want to know that where you're not going to make mistakes. You want to know that you can just communicate cleanly. I'm taking the shot. Okay, I'm behind you. Okay, I'm done taking the shot. I'm leaving. Your turn to take the shot. Like, it's a lot more difficult to mess that up as opposed to when you're trying to meet each other midfield, get these crazy passes off. So they're playing what they know to get the win.
I would be interested to see how Method played if they left a lot more in kind of an anchor position, rotating in the third and allowing Metz and Magnus to do their 2v2 magic up on offense, see how that would change things up. Because right now a lot is being very aggressive and staying up in that 1-2 roles very often. But I think that they would maybe work out a little bit better for them if he were to hang in the back and allow the synergy of the duo. But here, with one game standing between Method and League play for the second time, can they do it? Only got 4 minutes left here. This one, a win for Seoul Gaming would send us to game 4 and keep their hopes of RLCS alive. But so far, like we said, really only 1 earned goal so far in the series. The other 2 coming on a lot's own goals.
Another hard angle.
Dadu gets in the way of that one, sends it away a lot. Another shot here from Magnus.
And another shot, yep.
Metzenaris goes fire, clears to the side. That keeps it engaged, but a lot very aggressively pre-jumping there, flying early. Dadu now, the shot towards the goal, almost drops it in, but the save from Metz and then the follow-up from Magnus will keep their net clean. Best attempt at offense we've seen from Seoul Gaming in a while, but they're back on defense as Metz drops it on the crossbar. Magnus in, misses the touch, but 3 players in the corner now for Seoul Gaming. They're committing a lot on these defensive pushes.
They've already made 6 shots. Every time they have any kind of angle, they're just taking the shot.
Well, we're not seeing really, just single pushes and then leaving. They're almost always having a follow-up. If Metz gets a shot, Magnus will have a shot as well. A lot usually gets in the picture too. This one going towards the net, cleared away. A lot gets the save. Metzenar's hanging up, waiting to cherry pick this play from Magnus. I'll actually fall back and allow Magnus to move up. Now a lot in the midfield. Metzenar's hanging at mid. So a lot and Magnus bumped each other. Metzenaris will have to pick this up. Grabs the boost to starve Dadu, but Magnus gets the save as Dadu tries to wrap it around the bottom vertices. This guy's in the corner. Approaching halftime here, still neither team having found the goal. Dadu with an excellent shot, but Magnus blocks it away. 2 players in net, and they keep their wits about them, just sending Magnus up, and now they've got the transition.
And this series is kind of showing, just to touch on the subject, why misdirecting and coming from interesting angles is what throws people off so much. We've seen a lot of fantastic shots head on, but both of these teams are very capable of just slamming them away. They can react quick enough. You can get to the top of the crossbar. You can get to the crossbar from the bottom of the net with no boost, technically.
Yeah.
So, if we're playing in a perfect world, you should be able to save almost every shot coming your way if it's just direct and predictable.
Ooh, Ghost Fire with an opportunity. Metzenaris was bumped in net. He couldn't sneak it underneath the crossbar, and now flying down the field, wins a 50-50 on the wall, comes off. Can he do it by himself? Tries to get it past Skies. But a good contest in the corner will buy him some time. Flick it over the top of a lot, and now Ghostfire and Skies moving down the field. They've got 2 to deal with in the back, but Magnus will be able to clear that one away. Metzenars with the transition. Best opportunity yet for a lot to score this.
Oh, but that bounce.
That is a very rough bounce to read. Dadu will send that one back into the corner. And we'll see Method back here on offense, keeping the siege up. A good setup from Magnus, interrupted by Skies before Metzenars could get airborne. He'll play that one up on the wall, back into the middle. A lot coming across to create misdirection. Metzenaris just trying to zone goalies. Dadu will get a soft clear because of it, but he gets the follow-up. Look at that, back into the midfield. Metzenaris over to the side. 1:12 left to go. Still nobody having scored in what could possibly be the last game of Soul Gaming's attempt to get into RLCS. A win here moves Method on. Dadu in the middle. Skies trying to interfere with Magnus, cannot make contact. Final minute of gameplay upon us in game 3. Metzenaris, the shot towards the net is good. It looked like it might creep out, but he finds the way into the net, and that could be the go-ahead goal for Method.
You know, I think it's the first passing play we've seen today, and that was from Ghostfire to Mets.
Yep. The own pass.
But you can see how much more difficult that was. They didn't know when that was coming. It was going across the field from right to left, from their perspective. And then you have to worry, like, they don't know when Mets is going to hit it. They don't know how hard he's going to hit it. It's a lot harder to get an idea of, oh my.
Skies and Dadu putting the pressure on here. It's the first time we've seen a back-to-back shots come through for Soul Gaming. Dadu now moving up. He's going to look for the ceiling pass, gets it into the middle. But a lot, and Metzenaris will be able to counter this out. Metzenaris now airborne. He'd like to get a second goal as it would really secure the victory. With 20 seconds left, anything can happen here. Magnus down the field. He's got a lot in support. Metzenaris hanging way in the back, not wanting to fall prey to the breakaway when they are this close to qualifying. Ghostfire will move it down the field and get a demo on Magnus. Metzenaris got baited into the center, but Metzenaris now able to move. Get back down a lot, just has to clear this one away. Sends it back into the midfield. Metzenaris puts it into an empty corner. It'll touch, and Method in 3 games flat. The sweep here over Soul Gaming qualify for the RLCS.
They played the game they knew would work. They almost played the statistical game.
Yeah.
You know, if we put enough shots on, statistically, you're gonna miss something.
Yep.
We know you're gonna make some kind of mistake. Let's just hope you make it before we do. And they were always making sure to keep wide rotations. They didn't want to let any silly goals in, aside from the own goals. But there were almost no open nets on either side, really. Everyone was always prepared. And I have to give Soul Gaming so much credit. The defense they were able to pull off, the amount of shots they just dealt with that series, upwards of 45 shots, I think, throughout those 3 games.
Yeah, well, it was 15 and 16 and then 10 now, so 31.
Yeah, 31? No,
41.
41.
Math is hard.
I thought it was closer than
Our
that.
houses were on fire. Just give us credit here.
41 shots they had to deal with. And the score margins were pretty low in the scheme of things. Yeah. They really, I mean, they did a great job. They did qualify for the rival series, so congratulations to them. But Method, they must be feeling a huge sigh of relief. I mean, they have made it. They were so close in the uppers, and they had to play through just another 2 series. And they played what they knew, and it worked.
It worked out for them here. Yeah, it was about 24 saves we saw there from Soul Gaming. These guys having to put up monster amounts of defense, but you got to be able to convert it out. And here they're going to drop down to the RLC to the RLRS. Not a problem at all. Definitely get to see them throughout this course of this season, better than most of the teams who are competing today can say. So well done to Soul Gaming. We'll see them again later on, but for today, let's send it back to the desk.
Yeah, Method cutting it close, but eventually emerging into league play of the RLCS for the European region for Season 4. Huge congrats to them. I think we thought they would get it done in the first match, but they had to drop to the lower bracket, do a little bit of fighting, but emerging on top also. Huge shout out to Seoul Gaming again, dropping down to they dropped to lower bracket round 1. And they won all the way to get to that point, and they're in the rival series. So great job, Seoul Gaming. Can't wait to see them in action in the rival series. But let's take another look at that one in the form of the Mobile One high-performance replay to look again and see how Method was able to get it done there. A sweep over Seoul Gaming.
So Lawler, 10 goals in this series. 4 of those were own goals. I'm not going to say this was the prettiest series I've ever watched.
Yeah, I'd be weird if you said you did. You would say it's soul crushing, I think was your exact phrase.
We all lost a little bit of our souls for watching
it
this
was.
series.
There was some things that happened, but overall, you could just tell Method was the more experienced team, not only mechanically but also just spatial awareness, spreading out the field a little bit better, just getting to the ball quicker, and that just has to do with better positioning overall.
The one thing that I wanted to see from Method, Carpet was talking about, low angle shots. They just kept taking low angle shots that were not really doing much. Like, it wasn't a lot of pressure against Seoul, but they had 41 shots, while Seoul had 24 saves, Method had 7 goals. That means 10 shots were not credited as a save, so that's just 10 shots that just missed. That's like 25% of their shots. They need to clean that up quickly going into league play, because they honestly did not look good at all today. Yeah. They did not look like the team we saw throughout the preseason and even late towards the end of the last league play. So they need to clean up a lot of stuff really quickly, because they have to be back here next Sunday to play 1, possibly 2 league play games. Yeah, I mean, I think coming into today, when we're looking at the lineup of teams in the European region, we're like, all right, Method, they're probably in the top half at least of all the European teams. But based on their play today, would you necessarily say, all right, they got some work to do to actually get to that top 4 area? Yeah, they look like a 5 to 7 team right now, so they might miss playoffs. They look exactly where we saw them last season, where they got in through a tiebreaker. Yeah. They got that 1 win at the end. It could very well come to that again, unless they clean this up. Wavefunk said it too a lot. His shots were off target a lot. Sorry, was not on purpose. But they were off target, but the problem was he was getting a lot of those opportunities. They have to try and convert those to Magnus or Metz, because they're the better shooters on the team. So if they can try and figure out some role changes here, it could help.
I mean, this isn't necessarily inconsistent to their play last season. Last season, they did come in as the number 3 seed into RLCS, and they were a team that could pair up against the best, and they would match their opponent, but then when they played the lesser teams, they also played down to those teams. So this could be another situation where they may surprise you. They may play out of their minds against a team like Envious or, you know, whoever, and then they play in the 7th, 8th games, and it's like a nail-biter. So you never know. Well, we're going to find out next week. Again, Sunday is going to be the first day for league play for the European region. Next Sunday, twitch.tv/Rocket League at 9 a.m. Pacific. We have 1 match to go today, and it's a doozy. It's Reality versus the Leftovers. The winner of this next match will advance to RLCS League play for the European region. The loser will be in the rival series. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, it's the Leftovers versus Reality, our last match of the day.